What's going on, everyone? Good morning. Good morning. I am Tony Pollock. I am a professional trader. This is the beginner's room. Welcome to all my new friends that are visiting us for this free week. Love having you here, piling in the room. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. In this room, you are welcome to ask any questions you would like. There is no question too small, too dumb, too smart. All aspects, you can ask it. Don't feel bad about that. That's what we're here to learn. We will be taking some trades if we get the setups that we want. Feel free to ask me why I'm setting certain things up. I will try to talk to myself as much as possible and be as awkward as possible talking to myself so you can get an idea and a little glimpse into my brain, kind of help you out and see what I'm potentially seeing. So you'll hear me just talking to myself all day long. It's going to be great, right? It's going to have some fun. Let's get caught up in the chat pane real quick. Man, it is a packed house on this free week. I love it. Keith, what's going on, my man? First one in to say good morning. Everybody, Ria, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Steven's here in the house. Albert, of course, here. Good morning, my friend. Marcus, what's up? Ivan, what's going on? And a reminder, make sure you're on all panelists and attendees. I think so far I see everyone is, but just want to make sure. So that way everyone can see your posts. If it's all panelists, it's just me. Let's see. We got Ivan here. Good morning. Lucian's here. Oh, it's a good day. We got Lucian's here. What's up, bud? What's going on? Russ, Rita, Marley, Ken, Orlando, Vincent. What's going on, man? Lori, Ronald, man, we are just stacked. Man, oh man, oh man. Well, Ray says hello from UK. That's what's up. How many of you are brand new to trading? Type in a 1 into the chat pane if you're brand new to trading. Maybe you've dabbled for a little bit. Don's got a 1 in there. Val, Ray, sweet. We have quite a few people that are brand new to trading. You're in the right place. You're in the beginner's room. So I'm going to try to take trades that are slow. It's not like I'm going to be like, okay, we have 2 seconds to get in the trade. At least I'll do my very best not to in the beginner's room. But I try to set up trades at least 15 to 20 minutes in advance. We tell the stock what to do. Like I said, feel free to pick my brain all morning long. I am here to help you learn how to trade the stock market and change your life. So a little bit about my story, and then we'll get into some potential day trades setups. I ran a trucking company, or helped run a trucking company. It was a family company, and really loved it, but just felt like there was something more I could be doing better with my time, right? And it's not that it was anything bad. It's just, it was a lot of hours each week. And I just felt like I was a slave to money. I was working to make money, and all I did was work, right? I was a slave. My time was tied up so that I could make money. And I really wanted to reverse that. I wanted to have time and make money work for me. So I decided to quit that job. And start trading full time. Well, I had a $35,000 account when I started trading, and I thought I knew what I was doing, and I started to get crushed, my friends. I had bills due. I had pressures on me that I'd never felt before, and emotionally was not ready to handle it. So I lost almost all of our money. Got a loan. I don't recommend it, but I did. Started trading some more. Lost all of that. Finally reached out to RLT, and then finally reached out to RLT, met with Jeremy. In one session, he was able to be like, Tony, this is what you're doing wrong. Remind me later on. And I'll tell you what that one tip was that Jeremy gave me. You got to stick around, and I'll tell you later on. That one tip was that changed my trading. So then I started to find a little bit more profits, and then I came across credit spreads. And I was like, you know what? Instead of trying to be somewhat good at a lot of things, let's get really good at one thing. And credit spreads just spoke my language. They were with options. And I just ran with credit spreads and finally started to make consistent money, paid my bills, started getting out of debt, started moving ahead, and changed my life. And now it's part of RLT now for a while. And my goal is to help change other people's lives. So I want to help everyone to achieve their goals, whether that's making $500 more a month or quitting their job and trading full time and having this financial freedom and freedom of time, which was my biggest thing, right? I golf more than I work, and that's what I wanted. I spend time with my wife and family more than I work, and that's the type of life that I wanted. So my goal is to help you get there. It's not an easy journey. It's not a get rich quick. It's not going to be $1 million in a month and a half with a $5,000 account, right? It's real life trading. You're going to watch us lose. Most likely you're going to watch me lose today, and you're probably going to watch me take another trade and win. And that's very normal, right? So I'm going to help walk you through how to let go of money, how to become successful in the markets. Ron says, that's cool. How long have you been trading? I have been trading for many years. I've been trading full-time professionally now for 2 years. Yep, that's it. I would say my journey took me about 6 or 7 months to finally start becoming consistently profitable. From when I started, it took about 7 months. So for the first 3 or 4 months, all I did was lose money, paid my tuition. For the next few months after that, I was around break even. And then that's when Jeremy's tip came in, and then I started to make some money. So that's my story. That's who I am. And my goal and literally mission in life, all I want to do is to help others achieve their goals and enjoy the same life that I have. It's possible. I'm not a brilliant guy. I'm not a special guy. If I can do it, anyone can. Right? It's possible. You just got to learn it. It's a skill. It's not going to come just by showing up and clicking buttons and thinking you're smart. It's just like welding, right? I could go in there and I could throw a bead down and it's going to look like crap, and I would think it'd look so good. I think anyone can weld, and the welder would show up and be like, this is garbage and going to break tomorrow, right? It's a skill that you have to develop. And if you can have a mentor and someone there and you can watch my screen every day, well, man, your progression towards profitable is just going to accelerate so much faster than you can ever realize. That's why we're here. That's why Jeremy started Real Life Trading, to help everyone to get up to the level that he's at and past, right? We want to bless everyone's lives, get us there. There's no egos here, right? Cool. Let's get after it. If you have a ticker you'd like me to look at, please throw it in the chat pane. If it blows up in the chat pane so fast I don't get to it, then please repost it. Don't get offended if I don't get to your question. Just repost it. I probably didn't see it. The chat pane fills up crazy fast. All right, so we've got a Matt. If I could get this thing to type. There we go. We've got a Matt. We've got MRK. We've got Neo on the board. NRZ. Are these mainly day trades, or are they swing trades? Are they things that you're in or want to be in? Let me know that as well. I'll pretty much ask that question when we get back to it. Cool. We've got it. Let's get after it and get going. It says you. All right. Cool. Let's go to the markets. That's where we should always start. This wick on the markets is false. It didn't happen. So I think that's messing up a little bit. Trading View will update that wick, but it tends to do that on these big gaps for some reason. We did get a lot of buying yesterday. Towards the end, it finished very strong, which most of the day was looking very weak. So there are some bears trapped, and we are gapping up, which is nice, right? But another thing we've got to realize is that this is a retest gap after a big down day. So it would kind of make sense for the rest of this week for us to try to fill this gap and then see option number one, we roll back down. We are still extremely high. This pullback is a little baby scratching the surface pullback. I know it seems big, but we have a long way to go still. If we look out at a monthly chart, look how far we are from the nearest monthly EMA. We've got a bit to go down. These prices will always find the EMA. They'll either go sideways and let the EMA catch up, or we'll pull back down to around the EMA and then get going again. So don't get super excited on this bounce. You can leg into a few things, but my friends, we probably still have some more pain in front of us. So I don't know when, and we might bounce and make all-time highs before that pain comes in, but just realize there's a good chance that we might bounce and then fall. So I'm going to be curious. I'm going to look really closely at the markets at the start of the day and see what kind of strength comes in. And if any of that buying strength gets taken out within the first 30, 40 minutes of the market open, that will give us a good sentiment read of how strong this bounce really is. The Qs. So Qs actually had a stronger close and gapping up, back up above the 20 again. It makes sense for us to try to close this gap up at about 357.29. So that is where my target would be if we decided to take this trade. So keeping an eye on that guy. And then I'll put one back here at the high of yesterday. So onto that. There we go. Cool. Right on, right on. That's kind of the range I think we'll try to stay in. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll get to the rest of them here, and then I'll show you a few gaps that I like. So far, I'm not in love with any of these gaps, but we'll see. Avgo is filling the gap. Looks okay. Nothing too crazy on that. DKNG, nothing too crazy on that. Let's jump into what you guys' list was. That was a few things from yesterday. Hey, Matt, Applied Materials, really good buying yesterday. Strong, much stronger than the markets were. Let's get an idea of where we're at on this guy. We're still a little bit of a ways away from this monthly EMA. The weekly came down into a support and we bounced off of it so far. And it makes sense for us to try to get up back to that weekly EMA. So this would be my target for the day. We have a resistance right in front of it, but this one's not too shabby. I could see why this would want to go. It's a retest gap, and it was a big retest gap yesterday. So let's see if we get a little bit more selling than expected with some profits being taken off here. We are into a resistance coming up there again. See if it gives us a setup. Not too bad. MRK is, at the moment, I think just an inside candle. We are. So I would recommend a few tips that you can take away. If you could walk away from anything today, it's to don't day trade candles that are inside the range of the previous candles while you're starting out trading, right? There's ways you can make money, but starting out, they're pretty tough. They require you to get in on relatively aggressive entries. If you wait for the trend to develop and then you get in on an inside candle, you're getting in too late. And that's usually the end of the move. So you need to be pretty good with your entries, getting in at nice and low entries for bulls and really high entries for bear trades without that confirmation, right? You're using other things to give you an idea of when to get in. So inside candles are pretty tough, and all-time high candles are pretty tough. So both of those are ones you're going to want to avoid whenever you are first starting out trading. You're going to want to pick out a specific gap that you like, And if you're day trading, I highly recommend you day trade gaps. Gaps cause emotions, and people's emotions are predictable. If people think they're going to make $5,000 the next morning after they get into a trade, and the very next day they're down 5% and down, $5,000, how are people going to react? They're going to freak out. They're going to freak out, right? They're going to hold and see if it'll bounce, and then when it doesn't bounce, they lose more, and then it causes it to go lower, or they will freak out and sell right away, thinking this thing's going to go to zero, right? So you can predict people. Inside candle is when we're opening inside the range of the previous candle. So the range yesterday was the high there and the low here. So we are inside the range of the previous candle. We are currently opening up at 77.30. We are inside this high and that low. That's what an inside candle is, my friend. Good question. Cool. Another thing too is if it's above 5% gap, pass on it. Those are my 3 top tips that I could help you out with when you're first starting out with trading. Avoid those things. Avoid inside candles, meaning we're going to open up inside the range of the previous day. You want it gapping out outside the range of the previous day because that gives you an idea of sentiment. Man, I got to get going. The market's going to open soon. Gives you an idea of sentiment. You want to avoid all-time highs. All-time highs are really tough to trade because you have a ton of people that are taking profits. Keith, yeah, our spread's looking great, man. We should be able to close that out in a day or two, I hope. We'll see. That's looking pretty good. We only need 10 more cents to hit profit target. So, and then avoid big gaps unless, again, all of these are just when you're starting out trading. All right. Whenever you've been trading for a little while, you're profitable, you have a good idea of how the markets work, then start working into some strategies. But starting out, that'll save you some money just avoiding those things. So this is an inside candle. We'll keep an eye on it, but we probably will not trade this today. I'm going to try to find something that is outside the range of yesterday's candle, previous candle. So this one is, see the difference? So the high of yesterday was right here at 43.68. We are currently gapping up to 43.85. So we are outside. The bulls are already showing us strength, right? It's up huge right now. I'll have to take a look at that. Again, this was another buying off of a good support and a gap up. So a few things to pay attention with this one. We could go higher, but we've got a lot of resistance right in front of us. So my targets, my best case scenario targets would be up there. Honestly, this is a retest gap, so we're going to guess that it's going to retest. I think we're going to probably pull back down maybe to 42.70-ish area. And this is where we're going to want to look for an entry down there and then see if we can't get our targets up 44.83. Cool. NRZ. That's a really old, I haven't looked at the stock in forever. That's an old note. Still just an inside candle. So inside that range, so we probably won't trade it. Again, you all are welcome to trade whatever you'd like, but for our official ones, official trades, I'm going to do something that is an easier trade than these inside candles. These are tough. Like I said, they require those quick, scary entries. That's usually pretty tough to do. United Health and Peloton partnership, huh? Wow. Well, sweet. Let me see what my target's at on Peloton because I might want to change that up. Let's do like a 0.15. Let's check out Peloton real quick. Oh, nice. Up 7%. What's up? Also got a naked put on Peloton as well. Sweet. Cool. Well, it's going to be a money-making day today no matter what. You got to love those. Got to love those. All right. Good stuff. Let's get back to our little list before this market opens and see if we can't take anything. Most likely, I won't be right out the gate. The sweet spot, especially when you're starting out, is about 30 minutes to 50 minutes after the market's open. Gives you an idea to see, let the stock show you its hand. Gives you an idea to see what's it's trying to do, where the strength's coming in at, and then finding an entry. I think that's kind of your sweet spot to live in when you're first starting out. So that's another tip for you. Man, already it's worth the price of admission, right? Just those few tips alone are going to save you so much money and heartache trying to chase it. So again, when the market's open, we are free to ask any questions you like. Pick my brain. Take advantage of this opportunity. I am not here to sell you on something. I'm here to help you, give you as much information as I possibly have to give in this free session. All right. Let's see. We had, I think, was Neo another one? Neo, same story. Yeah, so we talked about that one. At that resistance there is probably our target. This is an inside candle. PCG is not really gapping at all, but it is pretty beat up. So there is no magic indicators, but if you have a knowledge of how the markets work and you have an indicator to help you get an idea of how that market is working, you can use that to your advantage. So this is very low on the RSI. This is very low on the RSI, which means it's getting close to a bounce. Now, a bounce doesn't mean go to the moon. A bounce usually just means a retracement. Like we went down here, we retraced, we went down. We went up, we go down. That's most likely what's going to happen. So this, again, is just an inside candle. But how I would play this is I would wait for a breakdown below this low. Wait for a breakdown below this low. I would buy the dip down here below it, be the trap, and let this see if it bounces. If it doesn't, you're wrong real quick, and you can get stopped out for a small loss. John, my man, you just joined? Oh, you got to be here on time for those tips, my friend. You got to be here on time for the tips. This is being recorded, so it'll be uploaded on YouTube later today. You can rewatch that, my friend. We just don't have enough time. Maybe later on today, remind me and I can go over it again. But yeah, it's all being recorded, so you can tune back in for those tips again. Unity. Get all these lines off of mine. Thank you, Game Force. So again, there is no gap on this. Gaps are your friend with day trades, right? Gaps will help you a ton because they make people emotional. And when people are emotional, you can play off of their emotions. People are predictable. When someone's scared, they tend to do the same thing. When someone's really happy, they tend to do this, right? People are emotional. First timer here, can you post the YouTube video link? I haven't uploaded it to YouTube yet, so I don't have a link. But if you just check out Real Life Trading, you'll see our videos all there. So subscribe to reallifetrading.com. Subscribe to Real Life Trading on YouTube, and it'll all be right there. Plus thousands of hours of free education, by the way. So. All right. Ronald said, can I trade day trades if my screens are delayed 20 minutes? Yeah, I'd probably not trade. It'd be pretty tough, my friend. You're going to want live data. That's probably the number one thing with day trading. You're going to want some live data. And yeah, that's going to be tough. It's possible, but it is tough. Everything's possible. Day trading's hard enough. Don't make it any harder than it has to be, right? But nice day today. This thing could possibly hang out. Jess, what's up? First time here. Can you post the video link? Okay, I already saw that one. We got that one. Gonna trade. Said Chris says, you calling this an inside candle, but it's a single candle. Can you please explain? An inside candle is any candle that's opening up inside the range of the previous day. So this candle yesterday on a daily chart, the high of this candle was up here and the low of this candle is right here. We are currently opening right there at the moment. So we are inside this range of yesterday. If we were gapping to here, we'd be outside the range. So the reason why you don't want to play inside candles is because you're not getting a clear sentiment. Yesterday, the bears couldn't get this below this, and the bulls could not get this above that. So if we're still inside of that, we're still looking at the same information, basically. Now, once you're a more experienced trader, you can get an idea of how to read sentiment of an inside candle. But starting out, these tend to be very tough. Even today, Jeremy says most of his losing trades come on inside candles. Jeremy Newsom, the master day trader, he still says most of his losing day trades come from trading inside candles. So that means a candle that is inside the range of the previous day candle. They're pretty tough to trade, even for Jeremy Newsom. Chris says, I thought it was the previous candle. It is. So you're looking at the previous range candle, and you're looking at where we're opening right now. So if you look right here, pre-market's at $9.18. The low of yesterday was $9.15. So we are 3 cents above the low of yesterday. So we are inside the range of yesterday's candle. We're actually starting to gap down. So if we move lower, that would change things. We'll see. Cool. All right. For me, again, I don't really have anything out the gate that I absolutely love. Chewy is one that I would like to continue sentiment on. It is an inside candle at the moment. So this would be a little bit tougher of a trade, but I could see why I'd get going. IBM is a gap that is outside the range of the previous day's candle. Does that still make sense? So this is the range of yesterday's candle. Markets are about to open in a few minutes. That's okay. We're not going to do anything out the gate anyways. We're going to wait 30 minutes. We closed right here. We are opening up here. So this is outside the range of yesterday's candle, right? Anything gapping up above, what is the high yesterday? 138.49 is outside that range of the previous candle. So that's telling us it's doing something that the bulls could not do yesterday, right? Is this a gap and go or a retest gap? Good question. So a retest gap is when the direction of the candle is, or I'm sorry, the direction of the gap is the same direction as the previous day candle. So meaning if this is a bull candle, see how this is a green candle, it finished bullish and then we gap up bullish, that's a retest gap. What does that mean? That means that people bought yesterday and are already up big. They're already up big. So a retest is something that comes back down and retests where it previously was. Why does it retest? Because people are immediately profitable. Ken, what would you do, my friend, if you bought something and then the very next day you were up $2,000? You'd be pretty happy, right? If you were up $2,000 in one day, you'd probably sell it. So would I, right? So a retest gap usually with people up the very next day sell, which causes it to pull back, which causes it to retest and then get going again. Does it have to? No, it doesn't have to. But we wait for a retest. Whether or not it retests the gap or not, we wait for a retest on a 5-minute chart. Okay. So that's IBM. IBM actually opened up above this support, which is really impressive. But it is also a bigger gap, right? Again, do we want to get caught on this move? This looks very bullish, right? Looks really good, strong, out the gate, moving. But what does the daily chart tell us? The daily chart tells us there are a lot of people very profitable today. I expect this to pull back. There we go. I expect this to start to pull back. Now, the question is, how far does it pull back? I don't know. But you don't want to be the person buying right here thinking this thing's going to go to the moon. Could it? Yeah, of course. But you will go broke. That's not a profitable strategy in the long run. Okay. Let's see where we're at here on our Peloton spread. We're at about 0.2, 0.24. So Peloton with this big old gap up, what do you expect people to do with Peloton? Same story, sell. Sell it. Right? So what did we get in the pre-market? Hit that resistance. We expect this to be pretty tough to get above today. So if we blow right through that resistance, we'll now know that's pretty strong. Put yourself in people's shoes. Put people behind these candles, right? How are people feeling right now with Peloton? Well, they're feeling excited. You have a lot of FOMO kicking in right now because, well, I wanted to buy a Peloton here, but now it's just going to the moon without me, right? You have this FOMO action happening. You have people that are being scared of missing out. Is this we're on a daily chart, is this a retest gap or a gap and go? So we have a green candle gapping up. Retest or gap and go? Retest gap. Ding, ding, ding. Kill it. Retest. What is a gap and go? A gap and go is when you have a candle that finishes bearish. I should have done that in red. Finishes bearish and then gaps up above it. So a gap in the opposite direction of what the candle finished. So it could be this, or it could be a bullish candle that gapped down. Either way, it's going the opposite direction of the previous day's candle close. What that does is cause a lot of people to be scared. Because, right, how would you feel if you bought on Peloton's candle yesterday on this big old green candle? You're like, whoa, this thing's going to the moon. And then it gaps down tomorrow. You're like, oh, I thought I'd be up $5,000 and now I'm down $3,000. You're going to sell. You're going to freak out. You're going to get out because this thing's going to zero, right? And so a gap and go tends to be very quick, and it's playing off of people's emotions a lot more than a retest. Of course, Jess. So a retest gap is people that are immediately profitable the next day. So this is a bull candle, finished green, and we gapped up. People that are in this yesterday or even previously, all right, all people that are in all of this, we all have something in common. We are profitable, right? We are profitable. So a retest gap tends to retest. It tends to retest and then maybe go higher. So it really comes out to the S curve. Again, I am fire hosing information right now. Woo! Fire hosing some information at you all. But in order to understand the retest gap, you need to understand the S curve. We have an amazing video on YouTube about the S curve. Go watch it. It's amazing. But I'll kind of explain a little bit here. Here it says green to green gap equals retest, and green to red gap equals gap and go in the opposite direction. Correct. Yep. Or it could be the opposite, right? Bear gap, bear candle, red candle gapping down is also a retest gap. Red candle gapping up is a gap and go. Perfect. Chris, yes. My gap and goes strategy, usually I'm in the first 5 minutes. If you wait 30 to 45 minutes, normally you've missed it. Yeah. Retest gaps, it's the opposite. I want to wait. I don't want to chase the bull move right up the gate. I want to wait for the retest gap to come. Okay. Colors of the second candle. Yep, that doesn't matter. It's just simply all about the previous candle and where it's gapping to. That determines if it's a retest gap or gap and go. A gap and go's second candle. So let's just look at this retest gap. This is a retest gap even if this candle finishes bearish. It's a retest gap because this is bullish and we gapped up. This, let me get rid of this line. This was a bear candle that gapped down. That is a retest gap. All right. So why are we seeing selling coming in? Because people are taking their profits. Is this or is this not a resistance right there? It's a resistance. What do people do at resistances? They take profits. That's what good traders do. So it makes sense that we gapped up huge, had a big day yesterday. Everyone and their dog and their grandma is profitable. And you gapped right up into a resistance where people's profit targets are in the first day. They took some profits. So we're going to expect this thing to roll down and at some point today get some buying and rock and roll. So if we're on a 5-minute chart, we're waiting for that pullback and then our entry, right? I thought I saw some more stuff here. Russ, what's up, man? The yellow shade on the screen is the pre-market or after hours market. So trading is going on before the market opens. Correct. Yep. I don't know if maybe you were helping answer someone's question previously. I appreciate that. Why is the pre number changing if the market's not open yet? That's what you're answering. Yeah, Ken. So people can trade pre-market. I don't recommend doing that when you're starting out, but yeah, you can trade. That's what's moving the market before it opens. There are certain rules with the pre-market trading. You can't put in a stop loss, stuff like that. So you really have to be present and understand what you're doing because you could also lose a lot really quick. And it's very spready, so it's pretty hard to get filled on. All right. So we are waiting for the retest candle. If you look in the pre-market, what did we bounce off of before? Let's go to a 15-minute right here. What EMA did we bounce off of right here? This is the 50 EMA on a 15-minute. So we can keep an eye on later on in the day as we keep going for this 50 EMA. If we retest back to it, that might be a good bouncing spot because it was previously. So keep an eye on that throughout the day. We are taking out the first candle. Again, that's okay. Retest gaps, we're going to let them retest. Don't chase them and get caught in the trap, just like these people did right here. All these people bought. And they're like, woo, we're going to the moon. And then wait for the retest. Justice, do you ever use futures to day trade? Why and why not? I use an exponential moving average, by the way. That's your second question. Yep, exponential is what I use. There's no right or wrong. Everything works, just not all the time. So it's up to you what you prefer. I like exponential. Do I ever use futures to day trade? You can. We actually have a course that teaches people how to day trade futures, and people make a lot of money doing that. I personally have not gotten into future trading yet, so I do not. But yes, we have master coaches and mentors that teach people how to day trade and just swing trade the futures market. Really cool. So I would look into that for sure here at Real Life Trading. You don't even have to be a member of Real Life Trading. You can just take Arabia's mentoring group. So if you go to reallifetrading.com, and if you notice this first market's been open for 10 minutes, I'm not really interested, right? We're waiting about 30 minutes to figure out if we can get a setup. So if we go to, Real Life Trading, go to mentoring tab up here and you'll see mentoring groups. Scroll down and there's my big old ugly mug. You can learn about options in this beginners group that I have here. It's really cool. Click on it. They sell it. You don't have to be a member of Real Life Trading for it. But Arabia, where is she at? She's probably already sold out as well. She's there. She has a group for futures. If you want one-on-one coaching, again, all of this, you do not have to be a member of Real Life Trading. Just go to the website, click on it, sign up. You can sign up with me to learn options, day trading, swing trading, whatever you'd like. Arabia right here is great for futures. So sign up for a coaching session. Invest in yourself, right? Invest in yourself. Cool. IBM, there's our retest. I'm still going to be patient on this guy, but that does look pretty strong. Peloton pulling back. We're going to keep waiting for the retest to happen. We're going to wait for our entry. We're up pretty big. Let's go to a daily chart and we'll find where's our next support at. We have some support there, right? We have some support there. Okay, so I'll go back to a 5-minute now and let's see what we've got. So those are those two lines I just marked on the daily. And I usually will keep my pre-market open in the first hour or so of the day. Just helps me find out levels. No matter what, whenever we set up a trade, our target one needs to be there. So we need to be taking some profits off there. Why? Because that's where we got to in the pre-market and then pulled back. So at the moment, we are doing an S curve right now. So we will go higher most likely. It ran up, people take their profits, and now it pulls back, and this is where we're looking for our entry. And then we'll take our profits back there, and we'll take our last profit up there. Cool. Can we look at Tesla and your option day trade and swing trade? Tesla. So Tesla's pulling back. Tesla had a good gap up yesterday, and we are pulling back. So something about Tesla, you have earnings coming up on Monday, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to act a little more erratic. You're going to have people taking their bets, getting out, getting in, buying options, selling options. All of these things adjust the price of the stock. So they're pretty tough to trade a few days before earnings, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Like I said, earnings are a little bit less than a week away. But also this is a retest gap. So this is retesting. We had a big green candle. We gapped up. People take their profits, pulls back down until people buy it again, and then rock and roll. Do I care about the float before picking a stock? Not so much. Not so much. I can use that to my advantage, right? I can look at if a stock has a really nice gap up, that's a gap and go. I could go check out the short float and say, all right, it is really high short flow. There's odds are it's going to be some bears trapped on this. It might actually move more bullish than I expect, right? So you can use that to help you, but I normally won't even look that up when I'm day trading. Do you know how to change zoom so charts get bigger or remove the small pick off the screen? If you hold control and then scroll on your mouse, the charts will get bigger. You can also drag on these numbers on the right to lengthen or shorten them. That'll help it get a little bit bigger. If you double click on it, it'll get rid of all the stuff and just have your chart on there. If you click on these things over here, it gets rid of your window. Brings that up. Hopefully that helps a little bit, Jeff. Lucian says gap classification is not dependent on the current candle. It's all based on the previous candle. Yep. And thank you for hanging out, Lucian, helping me out with the chat, and I appreciate it. So don't let that confuse you. A gap above a bull candle close is a retest. A gap above a bear candle close is a gap and go. The same holds true for the inverse. Explains the wellness training videos. Yep. Beginners classes. Sign up for. Said invest in yourself and learn the markets. Don't make the mistake of being like, I can figure this out. Well, you can. You can figure it out. It's going to cost you a lot of pain. That's the same approach I took when I first started. I got this. Got crushed. blew up my account 2 or 3 times, and then finally just reached out. And me reaching out one time changed everything. I would not be here if I didn't reach out that one time. So we have thousands of hours of free education at RLT. Jump on it, and it's good stuff. It's the same stuff that people pay thousands of dollars for at other places. It's all for free on our YouTube. Everything's there. It's crazy. Who are we? Why don't we charge $5,000 for all these courses? Because we're not after the money. We make enough money trading. Our entire mission is to help other people become financially secure and independent through trading. So we're not going to charge you for information on how to get there. Now, if you want my time is valuable to me. So you have to pay for my time. But I post videos on YouTube all the time explaining things of how to do it. How to do certain things. So does everyone else, right? Real life trading has videos uploaded almost daily for education. So jump on that. Years and years worth of free money. Peloton reversed out pretty good. I'm still waiting on some volume to come in, so let's be patient. Just wait. No matter what, my 1R needs to be at that high. And if we don't take a trade, that's okay. You're going to realize with me a lot, especially throughout this week, if you hang out with me in the beginner's rooms. I'll mainly be here in the beginner's room in the morning, and I jump into the other room in the afternoon. But you'll notice I don't take a lot of trades. I take my favorite best setups. I could go long right now on Peloton. Sure. It'd probably work. But it's not my setup right now. I'm just going to wait for my setup. And if it goes without me, it goes without me. Everyone, we've already missed out on millions of dollars in profits right now in the first 20 minutes of this market. We already have. You're always going to. You're not going to have eyes on every single stock and every single setup out there. Accept it. That's how it's going to go, right? Okay, so the market's showing some strength, showing a little bit of a push, and wanting to try to refill this retest gap, right? Yesterday was a retest gap. Bear candle gapping down is a retest gap. These gaps, again, this wick is false. Erase the wick. It doesn't exist. This gap usually fills. And so that's what I would expect us to do, is up to these EMAs and then either roll back down or do that. One of those two options are going to come into play. Am I using TradingView? Oh, for him. Oh, Lucian, you're helping him out. Gotcha. Thanks. TradingView. All right. Ron Nold says, let me see if I can't widen this so it keeps the names there. There we go. What are your thoughts on day trading versus swing trading as it relates to opportunity, strategy, and experience? It's all about you and your schedule and your style. I would say day trading, I make the least amount of money out of everything that I do day trading. Day trading to me is just, it's fun, and I use it for play money. It doesn't pay my bills, right? I am a full-time trader. This is how I pay my bills, is through trading. I pay my bills through other things, options, swing trades, longer-term investments. So that's how I pay my bills. Day trading for me, I don't really make, I could, but I don't focus on it. It's not something that I rely on for it. Whereas other people, such like Jeremy, I would say probably makes his most money through day trading. I know quite a few other traders, that's all they do is day trade and make tons of money. So it's all about who you are, and there's tons of ways to make money. So Matt DeLong, another great trader in real life trading. He is a swing trader. He tried day trading, could never do it, and then did swing trading and then became super profitable, right? So it's up to you. Whatever fits your schedule. Some people don't have the time to sit in front of a computer for 4 hours in the morning and day trade. They have a job, they have a life. So swing trading is very chill, right? You can just check out, look at the markets after the market closes, set up your trades, and then when the market opens, if you get filled, you get filled, right? And you have your stops and targets already in place. It's very hands off, and you just kind of check it at the end of each day. So there's some pluses and minuses to it. At the exact same time, you have some downsides. You have some drawbacks to swing trading where you could get a big gap down and lose 5 Rs. It doesn't matter where your stop is. You'll get filled wherever the market opens up. There. It says, the first time joining, do you think it's worth joining RLT paid rooms if I have a very small account, $3,000? Do you think it's worth a doctor to go into debt $300,000-$400,000 to learn to be a doctor? I mean, that's really what the RLT is. So the long answer is yes, it's worth it. If you want to learn how to trade, you need to be around people that know how to do it, that can teach you the skill of trading. Trading has nothing to do with your knowledge and how smart you are. It has everything to do with how well you develop the skill of trading. And that's what we want to achieve here at Real Life Trading. Now, if you just want to take our official trades with $3,000, it's still very possible, but it is going to be tough. Yeah. That would be harder. But again, it's more of how about you learn the skill and then find money that can trade. So that $3,000, there are companies out there that if you pay them $2,000, they will give you $50,000 of their money to trade. All right, so there's opportunities. There's money everywhere. Don't let money hold you back from trading. You can find money everywhere. You just got to be creative and actually go out there and get it. It takes effort. Nothing about trading is easy. It's not a get rich quick. It's not make $80 million overnight. The people that make $5 million in a week are the people that already have $50 million in their trading account, right? It's all perspective. If you can make 10% return of your account each month, you are murdering the markets. Murdering the markets. So if you can make $300 a month on that $3,000, you are killing life, my friend. You're killing it. So it's all about that consistent, slow grind, following your trading plan and making money that way. Lucian, thank you, man. I just want to give you a shout out. Thank you for helping out in the trading room. I'm falling behind, my friend. You got it, my friends. That's why I'm here to help. Honestly, all I want to do is help every one of you achieve your goals. I'm going to give you realistic expectations and knowledge of how to do it. So again, learn this skill, and the best way you can learn the skill other ways, right? Technically, I could learn to weld by watching YouTube videos. But if I had to put my weld up towards someone else that's been doing it for 10 years, they would look at it and be able to find a million flaws when I think I'm doing great. I know, for example number one of this, when I first started trading, I thought good traders had like 80% win rates. Right? And I had like a 50% win rate. And I was like, I suck at trading. Suck. Again, this is all just in my head. No one's ever told me those numbers. I just figured in order to be profitable, you need to win more than you lose. All right, that kind of makes sense. So I figured if everyone's making that kind of money that I'm seeing them make, they're probably like 80% win rate. I'm at a 50% win rate. I suck. And then I joined RLT and I realized that a 45% win rate is actually what the average professional traders have with day trading. And so I'm like, I'm at 50%. I'm actually better than most of those. So you see the change in perspective simply because I was around people that know what they're doing in the markets. I almost gave up because I only had a 50% win rate. That's better than most professional day traders. So how do you make money if you only have a 45% win rate? If you lose on more trades than you win on, how do you make money? If you're flipping a coin and you make $10 on heads and you lose $5 on tails. Flip that coin enough times and you are going to be making a lot of money. Right? And that's the name of the game. You've got to make more money on your winning trades than you lose on your losing trades, because you're going to lose more often than you win. Make sense? I would have never known that. I would have quit with the wrong expectation of trading. I'd be back to my old job simply off of my own bias, because I just figured you got to have an 80% win rate. So again, just being around people that know the markets and know how things work, it helps a lot. All right. So what does this tell us right here? This volume, what does that tell us? Anyone want to guess on Tesla? So is this volume bigger than the previous candle's volume? Ding, ding, it is. Why might this be a big candle volume? What might that mean? Jeff, yeah, but also just because this volume is green doesn't mean there was buyers. For every buyer, there still has to be a seller. There's got to be someone that's selling that to you, right? So just because this is a green volume, it's only green because the candle finished green. Did we break this low right here? This is what I want to know. Let's see, what's the low of this? 641.73, 641.77. We did not take out this low. We got really close to it though. So if we go to a 1 minute chart, we get an idea of this right here. There was actually a lot of selling volume happening in this candle. But then what happened as soon as we got down to this low? We had quite a bit of buying coming in, right? So this volume was a mix of sellers and buyers, right? But that bigger volume is just letting you know that this is a point that people are paying attention to. This could be the bouncing volume. I would have preferred for this to make a new low. That would have been even better. And why is that? Because I know shorts have their entries right there and their stops right there. So if we would have triggered them in and then immediately start to go, they're trapped. Exactly. And traps are catalysts to big moves. If you want a big move in the market, tip number 4,000 today. If you want to try to catch big moves in the markets, look for traps. Look for people that are trapped. And it's a good way to catch big movers. Cool. Check out Peloton right now. We're still sinking. So Peloton should have bounced. We still can. We should have bounced right here, and so we didn't. So what does this mean? The bulls are not as strong as we would expect them to be. Does that mean that we can't bounce? No, we still totally can bounce. But now I'm not planning on getting a 2R target all the way up to here. We still might get there. We're not out of the woods yet. But it's also not being as strong as we would like it to be. So if we're looking at our 15-minute here, we're still waiting on this to get climbing up. But remember, our plan this pre-market was to possibly be buying off of this 50 EMA on a 15-minute chart. We'll see if that plays out or not. But we're going to keep an eye on this. A lot of these are setting up. It's been 30 minutes, so now I'm going to start getting active on looking for my setups. IBM bounced very strong, left without us. I'm probably not going to be taking this trade. We missed it. That's okay. All good. Chewy's pulling back and then got bought up hard. Why is that? We pulled back to the EMA, and that's where people were ready to buy it. Again, it's a retest gap. Are we still an inside candle? Yes, we are. The high of the candle is right here at 82.64. So we are still inside the range of yesterday's candle. So right now the entry would be a break above this bear candle, which I think we just got. Break above the bear candle with our stop down here. That's probably too wide of a trade, if I had to guess. Entry there. Stop here. 1R is there. That's asking a lot. That is not a good risk reward. Remember, your targets are based off of where your entry and where your stop is placed. You always have a stop in day trading, always. Okay. So your targets are based off of the distance between your entry and your stop. So you have target 1, which is a 1-to-1 ratio, and target 2, which is a 2-to-1 ratio. We are always going for 2Rs. Remember, we need to win big and lose small because our win rate is most likely less than 50% in day trading. This is a good, so I was going to say, because that risk reward sucks, this right here is probably your next entry. Right here with your stop there. 1R is now there and 2R is there. That makes sense. I'm not going to take this trade, but that's the entry. Okay, we've been filled right there. We can kind of back trade this because this is still an inside candle. Do I put my stops in swing trading? I do. Yep. It's all about controlling your risk. All about controlling your risk. If you cannot control your risk, pin duo, woo, let's go. I'm going to be doing a little trade on this one. So this is a free trade for y'all if you want it. Doing a leap here on this guy. $110. That's an old bullpen spread.
Order filled.
Okay. So I just got me a new leap on this trade. If you don't know what options are, do not take this trade. Do the 110. Expires January 2023. Very cool. All right. Add that to the list and add that on my green list. Perfect. Then we don't look at it for 3 months. Do nothing for 3 months. It's a good time for a bull put spread on this one as well. If I want it. Sorry, y'all, give me 2 seconds. Can I sell the 80? There's nothing down there. Nothing. No bull put spread on this one. No premium, but it's a good buying spot. Pinduoduo, if you want to buy a few shares or something at a good spot and hold this thing for 6 or 7 months, forget you own it. One of those where you just buy it, don't look at it for 3 months. It's a pretty good one to do. Is it hourly? Nope. This is on a weekly and on a monthly chart. Let me get this over into the credit spread room. PDD 110 strike calls. Expired January 2023. Cool. This is a longer term play. I'm planning on being in this trade for a year or so. All right, back at it. IBM's chilling. How is Tesla doing here? Tesla still walking down. Still walking down. So the bulls are not coming to play. That was a good bouncing spot for the bulls. They did not show up. Peloton still walking down. Waiting for the buy. Waiting for the buy spot on Peloton. Go to the 15-minute. Our 50 EMA is still a little bit lower, but we're getting really close. I'm keeping an eye on. This is my favorite setup so far right now. Hold on one second. We'll get to this here. Here we go. Peloton starting to wake up some little bit here. I want to see some volume start to build in, some sort of reason to get in, and then we're going to play this game. Which is, I'm in Peloton short with Jan. Okay. And I like it. I think Peloton fades. So why would someone go short on this? For the same reason that we talked about earlier. A lot of people profitable, right? A lot of people bought yesterday alone. We gapped up and then we hit a resistance. So people will take their profits. It goes down. So you could short that, go lower, and then exit as soon as we start hitting some profit targets. So I am really, I like Peloton a lot for, I think the buy is coming. I don't know when, but it's soon. Probably within the next 30 minutes or so, we should get an entry on this. Tesla going lower. How the market's doing here? It's screaming higher. Qs look a little bit weak, like we might be rolling. SPY's looking somewhat strong. There was my entry, my little fake entry on this. I didn't take it because it's an inside candle, but that entry so far would have worked out pretty good. We'd be at 1R right now. We would almost be at 1R. We'd be pennies away from our 1R target. Lulu's chilling. AMD. This is nice consolidation for AMD. Really just got hosed all the way back down. Again, still just an inside candle. If that wick is correct, I have to look at it, but 120.30. Let me look at this Peloton real quick. Jeremy's going for 118.15. It's funny because we go to a 15-minute chart. That's about where my entry is off of this 50, right? Entry's a little bit higher, 118.40 at the moment, but To me, this looks like it is getting ready for an S curve. The 15-minute looks really good. 4 minutes left on this candle. I'm going to see if any volume comes in and if we can finish as a hammer. I feel like the bounce is coming pretty quick. Albert says Tesla bounce. Possibly. If Tesla does bounce, your target needs to be at like 648. I think we're just going to S curve up and then probably double bottom and then go from there. I don't think Tesla's going to do anything super interesting today. It had a massive move higher yesterday, but we are at a support. No doubt about it. At a support on Tesla. Volume coming in. I just don't know how much of a bounce we'll get without getting some chop. So just have the right risk reward, Albert, but it's getting close. All of this is getting pretty close. Starting to feel it. Nice trap on Boeing earlier. It's a nice little move. Netflix pulling down. A lot of tech rotating lower. It's just like everything else right now. AMAT retested, nice consolidation and broke out. MRK went straight to where our targets were, these blue lines, and we're pulling off of those. NEO still hasn't bounced yet, put in a bad trap. NRZ, chillaxing, PCG, Unity still pulling back. Unity's a little bit too spready for me to want to day trade, but we poked our head above the high of yesterday's candle and then failed it, but this is at a support zone, so Unity might be getting close. Might be getting close for a bounce. Pinduo Duo, same story. Well, this is a good setup on this too. I like the high wave candle right here. If this candle can stay an inside candle, this possibly could be a setup as well. If we did something like a stop limit. So a stop limit entry allows you to say, hey, broker, I don't want to get in until we get above this candle. That's a stop limit. A limit entry is anything where you're saying, I want to fill me if it comes down to here for bullish. I'm just talking bullish right now. Okay. I want this to stay an inside candle. If it does, there's a chance I'm going to set this trade up. So we're clearly at a rock solid support, been very beat up, incredibly oversold. I like it. 190, 192, 102.88. Ah, it's already breaking out. Already not an inside candle. So pass on this setup. Shoot. You got to tell the stock what to do. If the stock doesn't listen, don't chase it. I think the bounce is coming really quick on this thing. So my next entry would be, since that is not playing out, let me see where this thing went. 180, 102.88. Does this even make sense, risk reward? You broke out. Kinda. It's not bad. Be nice to have that a little bit lower. So that would have been target 1 right there. Target 2 up there. I think I can get a better reward. So my next entry would be, so here's a few things. If we scream out of here, we could potentially get a retest on that. My next little entry could be down here, and this is an aggressive entry. I stop down here. So this would be a limit entry now. I don't think this plays out. We could try to grab the bottom. Right? This sentiment tells us it's time to bounce. We just need to find something a better risk reward than this. Let's go to a 3-minute and see if I've got anything. I do like this little hammer that came in. All right, so we've got a hammer there. Maybe we could put an entry in off the bottom of these wicks there with our stop here. That could work. Gotta love the volume on this candle. Again, a lot of bears trapped, right? This thing's been going down. Bears looking at that and saying, let's short that. If we get in, they get in, immediately traps. So remember what I said earlier, traps are the catalyst to, does anyone remember what I said earlier? Traps are the catalyst to big moves. Exactly. Yep. Strong movements tend to come after traps. Is it every single time? Nope. There is nothing 100% in the markets. Everything works, just not all the time. That applies to everything. You could buy a hammer and it works 3 times, and then you could do the exact same thing off another hammer and then it loses. Right? So everything works, just not all the time. So a lot of bull candles in a row on a 3-minute. I like this a lot. Love the volume coming in. This bounce is getting close. So if we wanted to do this setup, this would be 101.41 by 100. 92. 101.90. It's a much better risk reward. 101.90. Yeah, that's our 1R there. Actually, don't mind our 1R being here. So I could lower down that stop just a little bit. 5. Perfect. And then our 2R target is at 102.53. That's it, my friends. That's a pretty good risk reward right there. Back into the bottom of that pivot. Our entry would be that. I like Pinduoduo. Let's go back to Peloton and see how it's doing. Peloton. Nothing really setting up, no volume coming in, so I'm guessing we're going to continue to roll a little bit lower. If I had to guess, that's what I would guess. Very nice, Lucian. CNQ paper trade, 1.6 Rs. All right. This is about the time to be setting up some trades. Like I love Pinduoduo. It didn't do what I asked it to do. I wanted an inside candle with that high wave. I do like this entry a lot. There's a good chance we're going to get missed on this, and that's okay. It's an interesting candle here. Again, a lot of bull candles in a row. Whenever you get a lot of bull candles in a row, it's going to pull back. The question is, where does it pull back to? That's the question we don't know. Let's go lower. We don't know. He said 10% a year is what I make on my single family rental investments. Yeah. Do 10% a month. That's what I average. Yeah, RB, Because you don't have live data, you're not going to get the updated data with TradingView for their pre-market, post-market stuff. It's not going to be accurate. So you have to go into your little profile and subscribe. I think it's a couple dollars a month. So if you want to trade, having live data is a must. You've got to have live data. And you don't have to trade off of TradingView. I use my broker. So this is how I normally trade, is off of my broker. But once I'm on the mic, it's too hard for me to take screenshots and share my trades with my broker. So I jump onto TradingView and do it through here so that I can easily take a screenshot, really quick, really easy, set up the trade, and then go from there. This entry is probably too aggressive. Probably too aggressive. Maybe it's a little bit too low. I think we probably come back to here, 101.71. 101.71. And then kick our stop up just a smidge to 102. So our 1R is going to be at 102.40 with this setup. And our 2R, 103.09. So target one, we're going to take 30% off. I like it. We could either do that setup, or like I said earlier, we could just play the new low trap. This would give us the best risk reward, the highest chance of being missed, but you can swing trade with a delay, correct? Yeah. It's better to have live data, especially if you're going down to an hourly chart, but you can swing trade with a delay. Honestly, it's well worth your $2. Spend $2 a month and have live data. It's well worth it, because if things go wrong and you want to move your stop, you don't have accurate information to get where you really should be at. If you're going to trade, it's worth the $2 a month to have live data, or $5, whichever one it is. It's not very expensive. You are, Ronald, you're a licensed. Okay, I gotcha. If you are licensed, but you're not trading someone else's money, so this is just your personal account, you don't have to be under a licensed account as far as I know. It's only if you're using it for commercial uses that they'll charge you the more expensive stuff. So as long as you really are just using it for your personal trading, even though you are licensed, you shouldn't have to be on a commercial account with them, as far as I know. Now, they'll probably get you and say, hey, if you are licensed, you have to pay for it. That's probably true. Yeah. I get that. They're probably going to get you any other way, but said there are costs, right? I think I spend $400 a week on commissions. Right? That's what I average. It's normally what my average paid commissions are. It's not free. Now, I do a lot of trades. So don't get scared that that's how much it's going to cost you. But in fact, most brokers now don't even charge commissions. I choose to have commissions because I get better fills. You get what you pay for, right? So you can have free brokers and you can get in line and see if it'll fill you with 100 people in front of you, or you can pay commissions and actually get good fills. What broker do I use? I use TradeStation. TradeStation for everything. Interactive Broker is a great broker. TradeStation is free unless you want to use their platform. So you can trade online for free. If you want to use their platform and pay for commissions, that's what I choose to do because it's worth it to me. That's just a tax write-off, right? Then it's worth it. Think about it. Me getting a better fill is a difference between of probably $300 to $600. So it's like, yeah, I'm not paying $10 in commissions on this trade, but I just gave up potentially $400 by not getting a good fill. Right? It just doesn't make sense. Pinduo is leaving without us, so this one will not happen. Peloton, still up on the top of my list. Tesla with a great bounce. We talked about this about 20 minutes ago. We said it's close, but I didn't see this thing going up that much. So again, this might be all we get. I think we're still, yeah, there's just, man, there's so much resistance here in front of us. It's really tough. We opened up right into those EMAs, pulled back down to the support right here. You notice we didn't touch it perfectly. Most of the time, you either go past it or you don't go all the way to it, and you get your bounce. It's too easy if it touches it. All right. How is Chuster doing? Chillaxin. All right. We broke out, and now we are retesting it. Right, pulling back, retesting this old resistance, new support. If we're strong, we'll bounce out of here and go. If this is just a bull trap, then we will continue to just slowly walk down. Lucian, my man, thank you so much for helping me out again. I can't tell you enough. I got more than I can even get caught up with. And it is just me here. So you're the man, dude. Thank you. Let me get this thing up real quick. All right. Jess says, forgive me, I am sure this has already been discussed. Now is the time, honestly. We don't have a whole lot going on. If you want to ask some questions I didn't get to before, like I said, all of this is being recorded, so I don't want to repeat myself a million times. You can go back and watch the recording, but I am happy to help out with some questions. Says, I've jumped in on my break to see what's happening and saw this being recorded. Is anyone able to let me know how or if I can get access to this? Yes, this will be on YouTube. So go to our real life trading channel on YouTube, subscribe, and it will all be there. You can rewatch all of it. You can even rewatch yesterday's recording as well. It's already up. Good stuff. Happy to have you in. Guys, thanks for stopping in for 2 seconds. And you're welcome to hang out with us as much as you want. This should have been the bouncing spot on Chewy, and it's trying to. It's getting a little gappy, which I don't like to see on a 5-minute chart. So it's a little bit too spready for me to day trade. Just as you talked about the one thing Jeremy told you when you started, can I talk about it now? Oh, has it been long enough? Yeah, I can talk about it now. So the one piece of advice that Jeremy gave me that changed my trading was once I set up the trade. So let's do this for an example on Peloton. Let's say you and I are going to buy Peloton on a break above 122.74, and our stop's going to go here, and our target is right. Let's just say at 127. All right, there we go. And that's our trade. Once we get filled on this trade, I have to get up and leave the computer for, I think it was 3 hours. So I'm not even allowed to look at it. I have to close my screen down, go to something else, close it down, and not look at it once for 3 hours and let it either hit my stop or hit my target. It sounds stupid, but that's exactly what I needed. The problem with me was I had all the right setups. I knew exactly what I was doing, but my emotions kept getting in the way. So what would I do? Let's say I'm in on this trade and I'm like, this would be better if I just back trade this. Okay. So let's say I bought the breakout of this bull candle. Okay, let's just say that, just for this purpose. And my stop's there, everything's great. I'm filled, looks good. Not so much now. So then I go ahead and go, all right, I'm going to move my stop up. If we take out that low right here, I'm going to move my stop. I'll get stopped out because it shouldn't do that, right? We should bounce. Why aren't we bouncing yet? So I'd have my stop there, and I'd be like, all right, I'm going to lose small at least, right? And then boom, next candle comes in, stops me out. So I'm like, well, I lost 0.6 Rs, but at least I didn't lose 1 R. Sweet. And then guess what happens about 45 minutes later? So what was my plan? My plan was to get out here or to get out here. That was my plan. Why did I all of a sudden change my plan based off of one candle? Because of emotions. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. Emotions. I didn't follow my plan. My emotions got in the way. So I have a really cool video that I did. I'm biased because I did it, but it's on YouTube under Real Life Trading. It's called Path to Profitability. Look that up. It gives you the steps of where you're at. So traders that are not profitable at all are the ones that don't have a plan. They kind of just go, oh, a hammer, and they jump on that. Oh, and then go from candle, let's jump on that. Oh, I like that trade. Oh, I think this is going to go here. And they're all over the place. Someone just said this, I'm going to buy it. They don't have a plan. They're just throwing money at the wind, right? It looks good. So those are your unsuccessful traders. Your break-even traders are the ones that now have a plan. I'm only going to trade hammers, right? But you don't follow your plan. Example of this. I had a plan, right? Get out here or get out here, but I didn't follow it because I got scared, because emotions came in, right? So those are your break-even traders. They're doing all the right things, but they still find a way to screw up the trade because they won't let it work. So what did that do? When I left for 3 hours and didn't look at a trade, I never saw these candles come in. I never moved my stop up. And all of a sudden, an hour later, ding, I go, oh, I just won on that trade. And that started happening over and over and over again. I started winning on almost every trade I took, which was insane. I was setting up great trades. My emotions were causing me to pull the trigger too quick, to either go, oh, I'm up $100, get out. Sweet, I just made $100, right? I was doing that garbage just for it to go all the way to my targets. Or it would look really, really, really bad. And so I'd move my stop up because I didn't want to lose an R. It's too much. I just can't lose an R because then I'm a loser, right? If I lose, then I'm a loser. I can't be a loser. So there's no way I can lose. If I just lose small, then I'm less of a loser. See the problem in that logic? Your self-worth has nothing to do with the outcome of your trades. I cannot control Peloton to go up or down. I don't have enough size or money to do that. It is out of my control. So only thing I can control is how well I follow my plan. Your success is not based off of how much money you make or lose. Your success is simply based on, did you follow your plan to the T? So your plan needs to not just be, I get out here and here, but your plan also needs to be, when can I move my stop up? When am I allowed to adjust my profit targets? When do I take everything at 2R or everything at 1R, or a combination of both? If your plan doesn't tell you exactly what to do, how can you follow your plan? Right? So again, your self-worth, and this applies to anything in life. You'll realize the markets are literally just your life. If you're not patient in life, you'll lose money in the markets. If you have anger issues in life, you will lose money in the markets. That anger will cause you to lose money. Your lack of patience will cause you to lose money. Your overconfidence will cause you to lose money. The market is so difficult because it requires you to be your best self. And that's why people lose in the markets, because they are not willing to do what's necessary to make them their best selves. Because your emotions or lack of control of them will cause you to lose money. If you get frustrated in the car sitting in traffic going, oh, that person just cut me off, that SOB, and honking your horn, roll down your window and put your head out the window and scream at that guy and just go nuts. If you can't control your emotions sitting in traffic, what makes you think you can control your emotions and not move your stop up when things look scary in the markets? Not going to happen. Right? You have to control yourself. And that doesn't come overnight. You can't be like, all right, now I'm in control of my emotions. It takes years of practicing. And then not just practicing, but maintaining in every aspect of your life in order to be successful in the markets. Why do most successful people in the markets, why do they work out every single day? Why do they do crazy crap? Why does Jeremy do these crazy monthly challenges where he does 3 marathons in a day? Why? Because if he's not pushing himself to master his own mind and tell himself he can do hard things, how can he trade? And I'm not asking you to go out and run 3 marathons in a day. I'm asking yourself to challenge yourself. Maybe that starts with, hey, let's control my anger in rush hour. Let me control my time and do what I say I'm going to do. If you tell your kids, I'm going to hang out with you and let's go play catch in the backyard at 3:00 today. And then 3:00 comes, you go, oh, I got a business call and I got this and I got this and I got this. What do you think you're going to happen when you say, all right, my plan is to get out here and get out here? What's going to happen when all of a sudden, I should have been doing this? You're going to change your plan. If you're not your best self, you will not succeed in the markets. Now, that doesn't mean perfection. We're never going to be perfect, everyone. Get that by. It's about bettering yourself a little bit every day. That's what you're striving for. Bettering yourself a little bit every day. There's the formula, everyone. There you got it. So I'm going to drop as much as I can. As much as I can to help you achieve your dreams and goals. And guess what? This is free. I'm not getting paid by anyone right now, by you guys, to give you this. I'm not going to say, sit back and pay me $5,000 and I'll give you some information about how you can become successful. I make enough money trading. I don't need your money. Now, if you want to take up my time, if you want to do a one-on-one coaching session, it'll change your life. Invest in yourself. If you want my time, you're going to have to pay me for my time. So my time is valuable. But I am happy to be here and help you out. Rob says, I did a one-on-one with Tony yesterday. He gave me the meaning of life. True story. There we go, man. Appreciate that, Rob. Love you, bud. He says, worth the investment. Exactly. And that leads me to nugget number 1005 today. Man, You guys are glad you showing up. If you have the mindset of scarcity with money, meaning I can't spend money, I can't give away money because I need that money. I can't donate that money. I need the money. I don't have enough. You just squeeze it. You will never make it in the markets. So some people go, it costs thousands of dollars for an hour with Jeremy Newsom. Who I don't have $1,000, and if I do, how can I can't spend that. I need $1,000. I have a car payment due. I have a mortgage due. I can tell you what, with my story, when I started trading full time, we had a lot of money in the bank account. And it got to a point where we didn't have $1 to our name. I literally was shopping at Walmart with my wife, declined our payment to buy the groceries, looked at our account, and it was zeros across the board. Zeros. For the first time in my life, I literally did not have a penny to my name. I then won on a trade the next day and brought in like maybe $100. Our grocery budget was $50. We had a mortgage due in like 2 weeks, and all I had was $100 to my name. And my wife goes, I want to donate $20 to this canned food drive. And I go, Allie, I don't even know how I'm going to pay my mortgage in 2 weeks. Like, we might be homeless in a month, let alone our car payments, let alone any of this, let alone even our groceries for it. We're living on beans and rice, my friends, beans and rice. Because Tony had the idea that I could be a gajillionaire with $30,000 in my account, and I could do it without anyone's help, and I'm smart enough to do it. I'm the man, right? And my wife said, we need to do this. And I said, let's do it. We donated $20 to a canned food drive when we had nothing. And then that was the start of me and my wife not caring about money anymore. I don't have anything. You can have it. I don't care. I don't care. Sure. And then guess what happened to my trading? I'd put a trade on, and instead of being like, oh my gosh, I might lose, I went, I don't care. Lose. I don't care. I don't care if I lose. Who gives a crap? It's money. Money's fake. Money's nothing. Stop caring about money. Stop giving money so much power in your life. Let it go. Let it go. As soon as you have that trading mentality of I don't care, you don't move your stop on this candle. You don't get trailed out for $100 loss. You're like, well, it could have been a $200 loss, just to show up 30 minutes later, 20 minutes later, 15 minutes later, and being like, oh my gosh, I just missed out on $400 win. Right? So taking that same mentality of I can't spend $1,000 on a one-on-one with Jeremy or $2,000 or whatever it is, find a way. Find a way. Go mow someone's lawn. I know you might be 50 years old. Go mow someone's lawn for the next 3, 4, 5 months in a row to save up enough money to get a one-on-one with Jeremy Newsom. Because you know how much money I've made since investing that money into Jeremy Newsom. Donate plasma. Yeah, exactly. Find a way to get that money, to get you the knowledge that you need to bring in millions. And I'm not kidding when I say millions. Find a way to pay for the things that you need. Find a way. No one's going to do it. You have to do it. You've got to figure it out. I had nothing in my bank account, and I found a way to pay for a meeting with Jeremy Newsom. And that one meeting has made me countless amounts of money. Flipped everything for me. Keith, great trade on Square, man. I really like this trade. I love the fact that we're breaking up above this lower high, this candle. This is so good. I don't see any volume yet. And a lot of bull candles in a row. I've been eyeing Peloton all day long. Eyeing it all day long. This is a hammer inside candle, by the way, on a 15, which is my favorite setup. So, real quick, side note, let's set up a trade real fast, possibly. And then we'll get back to my rant and raves. You feel like this is a bonus Broke to Woke episode. Man, that's the greatest compliment I've ever got. If you have not watched Broke to Woke, woo! Chris, yeah. Like I said, I don't have an ego. I'm not I'm not here to be like, I am the man. And when I say my time's valuable, that's not out of cockiness. That's how everyone should view their time. Chris, you should view your time as valuable. Your time is not free. If you have a skill to give and someone wants to learn from you, there's value in that. If that's going to take away from your time with your family, friends, or hobbies, there's value to that. Every single one of you, Jess, same story. Your time is valuable. If you have value to give, which every one of you do, don't take it for naught. Don't act like, I'm just not worth it. Your time is valuable, just like my time is, just like Jeremy's time is, right? Pay the money, invest in yourselves, find a way. Take mentoring groups. Look, just invest your time. If it's not money, it's time. Invest your time and go through the thousands of hours of free education that RLT gives for free. There is no payment. We're giving this out. Our mission is not to get rich. Our mission is to help others have the same lifestyle that we get. People helped Jeremy along the way, so he goes, I want to help others. He helped me personally get to where I am. So now I turn around and spend every waking moment of my life to grab everyone else and pull them up higher than I am. I want everyone to enjoy the life of, guys, I literally golf more than I work. I live a better life than my retired father-in-law who's about to retire. I mean, meaning I have more time. I can do things. I have the freedom to do things. I can go to my brother's birthday. I don't have to work. I can go to cousins. I don't have any kids, but I can go to cousins and nephews and nieces' baseball games and basketball games. I can live life. I'm not a slave to money. I don't spend every waking moment of my life hourly trying to make money. Money works for me now, right? And that's what I want everyone to enjoy. I want everyone to have that blessing of being able to let money work for them and not the other way around. And like I said, go out there and find the money. Find it. Be creative. Find a way to get it. If you've got $3,000 in your bank account to trade, find a way. We are currently right now doing a 5K challenge. If you're not following that on YouTube for Real Life Trading, you're missing out. Everyone starts with $5,000, and we're seeing different strategies and different ways to build that small account into something. So cool. Look at Jeremy's trades. Look at my trades. Yo, I just made almost $500. I'm about to get out of it probably today. $500 on one trade with a $5,000 account. What's up? 10% in 1 week on my account. We're trying to show you how to do this. Just, you got to invest the time. It's free. It's on YouTube. Follow it. Man, I don't know why I'm on this tangent, but I am passionate about helping others. I really do want to help everyone have the life that I have found. That's all I want. I did the grind. I worked 80 hours a week, every week. I did it. I've been there. And now I make more money than I ever did there. And I donate more time than I work. And that's what I want to do. I'm finally doing what I want. So I want everyone to have that. Peloton's breaking out hard. So I still like this entry. Let me run these numbers and see if this will make sense. Or if we end up getting missed on another one. I think that's 3 so far that we've been like, we could do this, and then it didn't give us our setup and then took off without us. But we'll just keep waiting for a stock to listen to us. That's the name of the game. 123.43 is our 1-hour target. Oops. If I can press the right button on a mouse. Is our 1-hour target. 2-hour target is 124.93. Okay, nice little double bottom. I like it. This is going to retest, everyone. Right now, people have the FOMO. How many of you are like, oh my man, I want to buy this right now? Why don't we just buy this right now, Tony? It's okay if you want to admit it. It's okay. That's how I used to be. I used to be like, man, let's get in this thing. This is about to go to target. He says too many bull candles in a row. Keith, that's why you're a master trader, my friend. That's why you're raking in ours, man. Too many candles in a row on the same color. They will always retest. It might keep going higher before the retest, but it will retest. You got to wait for the retest. And now you come back and find your entry. Where is your entry at? Now, we could do the neckline up here for sure, and that's probably where it comes down to. But with this many candles in a row, it's going to retest more than people think most likely. Probably come down to this EMA at 122.50, bounce, and then pull down one more time and then get going. And this 15-minute, that's a really good engulfing candle. And we're trying to buy off of this 15-minute EMA right there. Trying to buy off of that guy. We'll see if it pulls back. So far, so good. Let's see if I like that's where my stop is. Should be good. Should be good. Could it go lower after we get in? Yeah, it could. Might it not go low enough and miss our entry? Yep, it could. And again, we are going to not care. We don't care if we're in on this stock. We don't care if we are in. And then once we're in, we don't care if we lose or if we win. Right? Is Jeremy still getting, is he still in Peloton? Nope, he's out. Okay. He probably got stopped out somewhere on the break above that lower high, if I had to guess. Let me look it up. Let's exit our Peloton RBX day trades for 2 wins. Hex, yeah, that looks good. So the market's screaming. Markets don't know what a pullback is, but this is the top. This is where I was saying we probably go back to the EMAs, maybe even close this gap. Any volume coming in yet? Not yet. Everyone, the markets might be rolling over soon. When I say rollover, I don't know how much. That might be to here. That might be to there. That might be to here. That might be down. I have no idea, but I think the top is coming in soon. Very soon. 3 bull candles in a row. Pretty much 5 bull candles in a row with one little baby inside. Or just bear candle. I mean, that actually did break out of that high. Into the 200. What have we bounced off of before? The 200 has definitely pushed us lower before. And we've bounced off the 200 on 15 also. So this is probably, if I wanted to be really aggressive, I mean really aggressive, we could short this and put our stop up here. I'm not going to do that in the beginner's room. That's not going to happen. So my question is with this, do I want to get in long with Peloton? How's it get around? If the markets are up getting ready to probably start to roll back down. That's It's a good question. I don't know. I think it needs to keep pushing higher. I think Peloton will keep pushing higher. When the markets start to pull down, this will probably come back down and fill us. And then we'll see if it can start bouncing from there. So I like it. I think this is a great trade. I like the entry. The more I look at it, these are the type of trades you want to do. John says I laugh like Jeremy. Everyone says that. And I don't know if it's because I've been watching Jeremy every day for like 20 hours a day for the past, I don't know how many years of my life. But I honestly think Jeremy laughs like me. We're seriously, Jerry and I are the same person. When we met, we're like, I don't know. You're just my long lost brother. We just, I don't know. I think Jeremy laughs like me. Not that I laugh like Jeremy. I think he took over my laugh. I don't know. That's pretty funny, though. Good observation. You sound the same. Man. I don't know. Not planned. I don't know how that is. I swear, you talk to anyone that's known me for 10 years, I think I sound the exact same way I always have, but I don't know. I do not know. Maybe some Newsom rubbed off on me. I don't know. I think some Tony rubbed off on Newsom though. All right. Is this the trade that we want to set up? I like it. Nice double bottom. Retest back down. We all made some money on Peloton. Yep. I think SPY and Qs, they're getting ready. We are getting ready for a roll back down here on those guys. I sold a put on SPY yesterday. It's doing all right. Doing all right. Yeah, these markets, though, they are strong. They are strong. It says eyeball on that Peloton bull put spread from the other day. If it pays 10% of what you're risking, my friend, I don't know if it does. It does not. It's only worth 0.2. You need at least 0.5. Yep, I would not jump on that. So let me see what Peloton's doing. Do I want to try to get filled at 0.2 today? We're going to try to hold out for 0.15. It's $50 difference. Sorry, give me 2 seconds here. Just updating the Slack real quick. All right. There it is. All right, so we talked about this. It's going to go up to here. I think it's most likely going to probably pull back down to there. How's the 15 looking? 15's looking good. The EMA is now above our entry though, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. A lot of candles in a row. See if the markets come down for us. We can go ahead and make this an official trade. Let's do it. So another thing with real life trading is I don't put it into my broker until I put it into Slack and tell everyone about it. That's how we all are. That's how we've always been. Official day trades. Let me put this in Slack. Got 121.93 by 120.43. Those numbers are correct. Excellent. I love it. Let's do this thing. Oh, Rob, you got into Peloton a few days ago. Okay, sweet. Good. I just misread that. My bad. But yeah, so you can try. I'm going to try for 0.2 profit target and see if I get filled in the next hour. If not, I'll just stick with 0.15. All good. Let me get this into my broker now that I have it in the Slack. Time is flying. I only got about another hour or so in this beginner's room, and then someone else will be coming in for me. Another great trader. Donnie, you closed it for 0.22. Nothing wrong with that. What a great trade. Making it work. All right, how much shares is that? That's what's up. All right. 121.93. Get this into my broker. With a stop at 120.43. $124.93 for the profit here. $123.52. Boom. All right, it's in my broker. So we are ready to rock and roll. Ronnie, is that how you say it? Says, have you ever blown an account? If so, how do you feel? How do you feel? And how did you reset your mind from scratch? Yes, I have. I have blown up an account a couple times. I blew it up because I had a $30,000 account and I was trying to make $2,000 a week on that $30,000 account, which means I was risking way too much to try to make a lot with what I had because I had to pay my bills. That's what led to blowing up the account. So if I could do it over again, I would not quit my job until I had about $100,000. Again, find the money. Once I had $100,000 in my account, then I would quit my job because now I can have the appropriate risk and still be able to make that money. But how did I reset my mind? The biggest part of it, right, is to not tie your self-worth with the results. That's a big part of it. I think if you start to feel like you're stupid, if you start to feel like, oh, I'm so dumb for doing this, I can't believe I did this, I'm so dumb, I'm so stupid, you drag yourself lower, right? So if you have a goal in mind of where you want to get to, so let's say losing weight, all right? Here's two different people that want to lose weight. The first person is not happy with how they look. They're depressed because how they look. They have a goal to lose weight and a certain weight, right? So they go out there and they say, okay, I'm going to go work out and I'm going to do this. but they're not happy currently with where they're at right now. Their self-worth is based off of their image, right? Person number 2 is, I am overweight. I need to lose weight, but I'm happy with where I am right now. I love myself not because I'm fat or skinny. I love myself because of who I am, right? So who has a better chance of reaching those goals? The person that's depressed because they're not where they want to be yet, or the person that is not where they want to be yet, but loves themselves and is finding happiness despite their circumstance? Person number 2, right? It's all about your perspective and what you're looking at. Okay. So when you blow up your account, if you allow yourself to get depressed and you think about how much money you just lost and how you're such a loser and how I just am so dumb, odds are you will have a rough time. You'll probably just blow up the next account you have. There's too much pressure on you. But if you realize, you know what, I screwed up, I'm going to learn from what I just screwed up, and I'm not going to make those mistakes again. I'm going to become better and understand what I'm doing wrong. And then I'm going to work hard, get that money back, and realize that just because I lost money, you can make it back, right? It's not the end of the world. So it's okay. Yes, I lost 30 grand. That's my tuition. Let's go get another $30,000 and let's improve upon that one. If I blow that up, okay, that's my another tuition. People in college spend a lot more than 60 grand to get their degree, right? And you'll make millions of dollars, look back in 10 years and go, wow, yeah, that $60,000 was a good tuition based on my return, right? So it's all about just having the correct mindset and understanding that just because you lost that money, you can make it. Google. All right. You got filled at 0.19. Nice, Lucian. Way to go, man. I haven't even got filled yet. Nope, I'm still waiting at 0.2. See if I get it. It's close. If I go to 0.21, I guarantee I get filled. I know, Lucian, you're paying off those brokers, man. I see what happens when you pay them off. You get those just that 1 penny better. How it works. All right, let me go back into this here. Justice, can you verbally go through again what you just did with Peloton so I make sure I understand? Yes, of course. I have a limit entry, not a stop limit, a limit. I set up an OCO order. So right away, I have a stop in place and my targets in place. And those become active as soon as this order fills. Okay. The reason why we are doing this is because a bear S-curve, get to a little blank screen here if I can find one. A bear S-curve looks like this. It goes down, it goes up, and then it goes down again. The bear move is done as soon as you take out the lower high, right? So S-curves just keep doing this. There's your lower high. Goes up again. There's your lower high. So as soon as the lower high is taken out, the move is done, right? That's where a double bottom comes in. Take out the S-curve, lower high, bull move starts now, okay? So if we go now back to Peloton and we look at this, we had a lower high right here and went lower. We take that out, it's done. Okay. So technically we are now on a bull move. So I don't have a huge amount of volume coming in on this and a ton of bull candles in a row, which makes me think we're going to pull back farther than expected. That's why I'm not buying the neckline of the double bottom. I'm going to go down to my next little support. We're going to be buying off of that with our stop down here because we're wrong if we take that out. You notice my stop isn't right here. Why do I have my stop lower? So that I can move it up and lose less than an R and still be in a spot where I'm wrong. If you put your stop right here, right on the bottom, you can't move your stop up. Really tough to lose small. Okay. And your goal is to lose small and still do it in the right way where you're still wrong. So that's basically our setups. We have target 1 here at this resistance, and then target 2 is up here. Could we potentially go all the way up to 130 today? Yes, we can. And depending on how fast and hard we bounce, I might take another 30% at target 2 and add another target. I'm not sure yet, but at the moment, this is my plan. Cool. Monty, what's up? Says, how do you interpret the multiple EMA periods you are using? What I like to do is figure out what the markets are bouncing off of. So if you notice, let's go to a 3-minute. We came down to here and then bounced clearly below all these EMAs, right? So go out to a different time frame and see where those EMAs were. So go to a 5-minute and you'll realize we just bounced off of the 50 EMA on a 5-minute to the penny. So now I'm going, there's probably more traders on a 5-minute than a 3-minute. And so I'm looking at what EMAs are being respected. All right. So you can also go to a 15-minute and look and see, okay, we bounced off the 20 EMA on a 15. This is being respected as well. It technically, per math, if you go to different time frames, these will correlate at the same location. All right. But you can clearly see on a 3-minute, nothing bounced off of anything. And we just all of a sudden bounced out of the blue and open space. Go to a different time frame and see if there's an EMA right there. That's how I use it. So you can interpret EMAs using different time periods with that. And honestly, I just have multiple on here because sometimes you're not going to bounce off the 10, you'll bounce off the 20. Yeah, Keith, mine has not filled at 0.2 either. That's okay. I might change it to 0.15. And could you please show how to take partials in TradeStation? Is that what you're talking about? I prefer to have a stop and make multiple partials at market. I always do limit orders instead of market orders. I should say always, but 98% of the time I do limit orders. If you do a market order, you're telling your broker you can fill you at any price available, meaning your broker could fill you at $100 if they really wanted to. So you're like, I was profitable and I should be getting out at $124 and I got filled at $100 for a huge loss. That's what can happen with a market order. You're telling your broker any price possible, fill me, get me out right now. Does that happen? It does, but not very often. Most of the time you'll get filled somewhere around the price. That's why I don't like to trade very spready stocks. Okay. But for me, my broker allows me to set up multiple. So if I go into here, and I put on my trading thing right there. I can click on this and I can select multiple exits. So I can do like 2 limits, 1 stop. I can do 3 limits, 1 stop. I can go in here and customize and make my own things, right? So that's how I set up multiple exits and 1 stop in my broker. That's how it's done. So easy peasy. Cool. Hope that helps a little bit. Is your target a limit order? Also, it is. It probably should be a limit order. And then for my stop, it is a stop market, not a stop limit. Always a stop market for your stop. You have filled on Peloton at 0.2? I still have not. Ken, 0.2 is our bull put spread that we got in, I think, what, a couple days ago? Was that last week? I don't remember when we got into that. A few days ago, which I guess would be last week. 0.2 is our profit target we're trying to get to buy it back at for a win. So hopefully, and again, if I missed your question, if it's been a few minutes and I haven't got to it, just repost it again in Slack. And in the chat pane, I mean. Repost in the chat pane. Don't take it with any offense. I don't mean to miss it. There's a million popping up every 5 minutes, so it's hard for me to get caught up. So please just repost it if I do miss it. I promise I'll get to it the best that I can. Yeah, you can have my email. It's Tony, Tony. I'll type it in the chat pane. Tony at reallifetrading.com. There's my email, your friends. Email me if you have any questions. Sherry, you're new. What is Slack and how do I enter? So if you just signed up, you should be getting an email. So take a look in your email. It might be in your junk folder. Sometimes your email will spit them out. And there will be instructions of how to log in and get everything set up from there. If you have any questions, Sherry, you can email. If you don't have that email or anything like that, email support@reallifetrading.com and just let them know, hey, I just signed up and I don't have anything. Yeah, no problem. Happy to help. Okay, Jeff says, if you had to do it all over again, can you talk about what you would do? Start with 100K. What would you trade? How much would you risk? Yeah, that's such a good question. I'm about to cancel Peloton, by the way, if it gets to that 2-hour target without us. If I had to do it all over again, I would have expectations that a really good trader is going to make 10% a month. Now, are there traders that make more? Yes. Have I made way more than 10% a month? Yes. But let's just give yourself a baseline. A good trader will make around 10% a month of their account. Okay. A good trader will double their account every year or try to. So for me, thinking I have to make 10% a week or 5% a week on my account, that's already asking for something that, especially with me, is not as of an experienced trader. Think about it. Today, you're the worst trader you're ever going to be. Tomorrow, you're going to be a little bit better. Be a little bit better the next day, right? So that was just a lot. So yes, I would have done it with $100,000. I would not risk more than 3% of my entire account per trade. I need to update that as well. Forgot. I would have had extra income coming in as I was learning how to do it instead of solely relying on trading for the start. I would have found some way to pay my bills outside of trading to take the pressure off of trading so that I could trade better. My strategies would have been leaps. I would have gotten into longer term options at really good entries, meaning I would be off of monthly support zones on a monthly chart, buying leaps, and then selling calls against those leaps every month. There's a lot to that strategy. So I teach that strategy. If you want to learn that strategy, sign up for a one-on-one with me and I'll tell you. I don't like to teach strategies over the mic like this because someone might be tuning in right now and hear something about buy off of this. And I might have said, don't buy off of this, right? It happens every single time where they're like, I thought you said to put all your money on this. I said, no, don't put all, don't do that. So I don't like to share strategies specifically on over the mic. I can't control the environment enough. And people always do something wrong. And then they come back and go, I just lost $2,000 because I did exactly what you said. And I'm like, well, you didn't. I said not to do that. I said, don't do that. Right. There's always some lack of communication on that, but that's how I would do it again. If I had to do it all over again, I would have waited for $100,000. And with $100,000, I would have either just sold naked puts until I got filled. And then once I'm filled, sell calls against it, or I would have done leaps and then sold calls against those leaps. It is consistent money, but it's not, again, trying to get millions of dollars overnight. It's about the slow grind, the slow build. Consistent build is how you become very wealthy. And then as you slowly build, you'll have a couple winning trades that are massively winning, but you weren't trying to. You got lucky, right? Peloton gaps up 7% overnight like it did last night. Great. I'm in Peloton. Awesome. Big win. But I wasn't trying to load the boat and put $100,000 on one trade trying to make $1 million like everyone did on GameStop and then blow up their accounts in 1 hour, right? So that's how I would do it over, man. That's a great question. And of course, credit spreads. I would have just done credit spreads from day one. Leaps, credit spreads, selling naked puts, and selling covered calls. That's how I would have done it all over again if I had to. Cool. Better not have expectations. Yeah, at least just realistic expectations, right? It all depends on your mindset. But Again, the main part is just letting go of money. That's it. John V, my man, what's going on? Just wanted to go through this out there. Just want to throw this out. The trading plan is so important. I've been with RLT for 18 months and just now making a trading plan. What? Okay. Man, hey, bro, I was on the same boat with you. It took me like 7 or 8 months before I got a trading plan. And wouldn't you know, I became profitable as soon as I made a trading plan. Isn't that stupid? Isn't that ridiculous? It's crazy. And yet, again, that's what I would do. If you're brand new to trading, learn options, but don't trade options until you understand them. Most people do the absolute opposite thing with options. They guarantee themselves massive losses. So pass on options. Learn them. Just don't trade them until you understand them. Because options are designed to they're fantastic, except they will steal your money if you don't know what you're doing. Right. Darren, yeah, you've been trading since November, still feel like you're super green. It takes time. Said it took me 7 months almost just to get to break even as a trader. Everyone's different. Some people do it in 3 weeks. Some people it takes 3 years. It all depends on how much time you can put into it and how long it's going to take you to finally have some self-discipline and stop doing your same mistakes over and over again. It sounds simple, but it's hard. Probably took you about a year. I mean, yeah, all of this is normal. You can't expect to make doctor's salary if you're not willing to take the same amount of time. It takes doctors, 10 years? So you'll get it. It takes time. Just, again, the right mindset. We're going to go ahead and cancel Peloton. It's already gone to target without us. It will pull back, but now that it's already hit that 2-hour target almost, about to, I don't want to be in it. Love the grind, Rock. Exactly, man. I love that. Love the grind. What did I get filled on that Pinduoduo? I have to go look here real quick. Update my trade journal. $20.90. Sweet. Cool. And it's official. Let's cancel Peloton. Go to my broker before I forget and cancel that. Peloton to the moon, man. I still have not been filled at 0.20 yet. So I'll give it a little bit longer, maybe another 20 minutes. If it doesn't fill at 0.20, then I'm just going to go ahead and do 0.15. And that naked put, though, is doing some work. Doing some work, man. On Peloton. Look at that thing go. Again, it's just kind of the day of misses. We've been telling stocks what to do, and they're just not quite listening the way that I would like them to listen. And that's okay. Chewy looks good. That was one that we could have done. Again, just didn't give me the setup that I wanted. But did it go to 2 Rs? Where's our 2R at? Right there. Nope. I think that would have missed us. Well, maybe. I guess I would have gotten it right there, maybe. Yeah, it got us right there. Yep, that would have been a 2R trade on Schuster. 2R trade on Schuster. Just missing out. 2 Rs. It would have been a 2 R trade on Peloton as well if it would have just pulled back to us. Did not. You never go broke taking a profit. Isn't that the truth, man? Truth.
Order filled.
Boom. Hitting profit targets on Chewy's naked put that I threw on there. Done ski on that guy. That just filled as we were looking at it, which is cool. Go update the trade journal on that one. Boom. Russ says, how much screen time do I average per day? Oh, man, a lot. I get on the screen at about 6 a.m. and I get off of it at about 7 p.m. Pretty much a lot. I'm on the markets, looking at the markets for 8 hours. And then after that, I usually average about 3 to 6 hours a day in mentoring groups and one-on-one sessions. So I'm in front of this a lot. And again, there's a few breaks in between. I might have a 30-minute break that I throw in just for, eat some food and get my eyes off the screen. But most days it's quite a bit. I would say on average, probably 12 hours a day or so. And again, I'll do that, and then I'll give myself a week where I just I thought you're a big golfer. I know I was just getting to that, my friend. So I'll give myself a week or so where I just say, okay, I'm going to push back my one-on-ones or whatever the case might be to give myself some more free time. So for just trading wise, if I were just to trade and I didn't have anything else to do with real life trading, I would probably work about 2 hours a week. It'd be about 2 hours a week. With real life trading and with my mission, I honestly, all I want to do in life is to help others get higher than where I am right now. So I spend a lot of time, I donate a lot of time and do a lot of coaching sessions, right? I do both. So, but there's still tons of time, right? The market closes at 2:00 my time. I'm usually out of coaching sessions by about 5:00 my time, and it doesn't get dark till 9. And then I'm usually out golfing, doing something, right? So yes, it's been incredibly busy for the past few months, I would say. It just gets even more busier. But if I spend the most important thing is I spend my time doing what I love. And what I love to do, yes, I love to golf. I love to be with family. And I love to help others on this journey, people that are hungry and trying to make it. It is on the, so if you click on reallifetrading.com, go to mentoring tab up here on the top, scroll down. We have our mentoring groups there. If you keep scrolling down, you'll see personal mentoring, one-on-one with any moderator. Click on more info, and then you can select, there's my little face there. Select anyone with any one of our moderators. They all specialize in different things. And I can go over any strategies you want to go over. Suck at trading and about to quit. PC, my friend. Like I said, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. You've got to figure out what you're struggling with, what's holding you back. Fix that and take off, man. Fear. Yeah, that's a tough one. You're close to a breakthrough. Dude, I tell you what, every time I got close to quitting, I'm on the doorstep of greatness. Changing your mentality, right? Fear always surrounds opportunity. And you've got to decide, are you going to allow fear to either knock you out of it, or are you going to have fear to push you forward? Time to short the SPY. Falco, man, we were just talking about that. I think it's about time to short the SPY. We're close. Man, we're so close. Qs are just rampaging. Like I said, we can't really do much more than a one-day pullback, and then we just get bought up like there's no tomorrow. It's insane. Insanity out there. But that's the life we live in. I honestly think that we should be rolling down. Keith, you just bought some puts. My friend, that's not a bad play. That's not a bad play. Right? Come up here trying to fill the gap again. This wick does not exist. That's a trading view error. But we filled the gap, and let's see if we decide to roll over the next week or two, or if we just hang out in here and get going again. We'll figure that out pretty quick, but yeah. You see, man, let me know if any of you guys or girls are struggling. Schedule a one-on-one with any of us. Let's figure out what you're doing wrong, where you're at, how you can improve and get you on the right path. It's possible. Anyone can do this. Anyone can become a doctor. Anyone can become a lawyer. Anyone can become a welder, a mechanic. Anyone can, it's not like you have to have these special gifts. Now, gifts help, but it's all about, are you able to be teachable and are you able to put the time in? Do you want it? And that's what separates most people. I could go to med school right now. I don't consider myself very smart. I could go to med school right now and I could put the time in, I could study, I could learn, and I could become a doctor when I'm 110. But I'm not going to. But I could, right? The only thing holding you back is yourself. Same thing with trading. Put the time in, learn, invest in yourself, spend the money to invest. If I tried to become a doctor by looking YouTube videos up, it's going to be a long process. Going to be a long process. What do you do when W breaks out and it doesn't retest your entry? So you're talking about here this stock W, and it breaks out, it doesn't retest my entry, then I miss it. Yeah, I just let it go. Same thing right now. Perfect example is Peloton. Peloton broke out and never retested for our entry. It just kept going. We missed it. Falco, you missed a trade this morning by 1 penny. Oh. Can you comment Momo on Peloton? Yeah, let's go turn on some Momo. Let's see, I should have it here. Let's open up a Momo chart. Thank you for that late alert. Peloton. So you've got to know Momo is a very successful indicator, but it is a lagging indicator, right? So Momo is off of the 78-minute Momo triggered log this morning. So you would have been getting triggered in this morning and you'd be riding the gravy train. So you can use Momo on any time frame. It's designed for swing trades. We've day traded this before. Like I said, it is a lagging indicator, so it is tough, but it's doable. Extremely possible. So you were long Momo yesterday. So you're already looking for a long trade. Basically did what we did here, just never retested, waiting for the exit. You enter at 110.04 on the 15-minute. $110.04 on the 15-minute. Where do you exit? I guess your targets are going to be dependent on. Yes, double bottom. Peloton's a good example of a double bottom. Yep. You will exit based off of your risk reward. So Momo's telling you to get in. You still have to put your entry in. You still have a stop with Momo. And so based on the difference of these two, the space here is going to be the same space for your 1R target. And then twice that space or twice of that is going to be your 2R target. So that's where you exit. Your distance between your entry and your stop tell you what your targets are going to be at to exit. So if you did this on a 15-minute chart, you got in at 110 something or other, right? 110.04. Cool. Good enough, right? Your stop's down here. Your 2R target would be right at 118.14. Could have already been out of this. So now if you're like I'm way above this, you're already above 3 R's on this per Momo, which is pretty awesome. So now you can trail what I call higher lows. What the heck is a higher low? Markets don't just do this. They go up, they come back down, and then they go up again, right? The higher low, they do this on the way up. It's in a bull trend as long as we stay above that higher low. If we take out the higher low, the bull trend is done. So now you can just take your stop and put it below the higher low. So can you see a higher low in here? We had one there. We had one there. We're going to have another one, right? And so now your stop could go to 120. And you locked in a couple R's. And then as we go higher and then pull back and then go higher again, pull it up. But you have to wait for it to pull down and then get back up to where it was previously before it pulled back. There you go. Yeah, Peloton's a great example of a double bottom. On a 5-minute here. Let's go back to this. So what is a double bottom? A double bottom is simply a bear S curve that gets taken out. So how we just talked about a bull S curve, how it's the higher low, that's the end of the trend. So if we pull back to here, we're still bullish. If we pull back to here, we're still bullish. If we pull back to here, we are no longer bullish. We broke the higher low of the previous low, right? Same thing with the bears. Going down, coming up, going down, going up. And this is how the stock works. So these are your lower highs. So if we start to bounce, we are still bearish. We are still bearish. We are still bearish until we take out that lower high. So what happened here? Came down, bounced, came down, bounced. So this is your lower high. And as soon as we take that out, there we go. You're no longer in that little bear trend. The bull trend starts now. So now, a lot of bull candles in a row. This thing's going to pull back, and we're going to form a higher low and keep going. Where that higher low is going to form, who the heck knows, right? We don't know. But it's going to if it's going to continue bullish. Cool. Ronnie says, I have another question. I used to have 4 charts open, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, and daily. Is this too much, or should I have only 2 charts, 5 minute, 15? I use so many charts because I started to learn with Ross from Warrior Trading. Now I'm trying to simplify because he is a scalper and uses the first 5-minute candle to make a high in a bull flag pattern. Okay, cool. There is no right or wrong. I guess it really just depends on you. Are there strategies and do people make a lot of money using multiple charts open at the same time? Yes, for sure. Are there people that use one chart in one time frame only that make a lot of money? Yep. So everything works, just not all the time. It's more dependent on your personality. Do you need to simplify, or do you need more information? Some people need a lot of information before they'll do something. Some people, you can just tell me and I'll go do it. So I guess it depends on you. And what I would do is figure out your own strategy, back trade it. So you could take his strategy and then back trade it. That is the thing that 99% of traders in the world do not do. They don't back trade. Back trading is the number one thing that's going to cause you to go from losing trader to winning trader. Because if you're back trading, that means you have a plan, a written down plan to back trade. Once you have a written down plan to back trade, you go and you back trade it. So if your plan is to play double bottoms, you would go back and you would back trade it. You go to this, click on this, and say, okay, I'm going to wait for a double bottom to come in. If this thing would pull up. And I'm going to wait. I'm just going to fast forward until a double bottom comes in. There we go. Boom. Here's your double bottom. All right, how am I going to play it? What does your plan say? Your plan might say you're going to wait for a retest of the neckline. Okay, awesome. See if this will retest. You enter there. Your plan says put your stop down below your double bottom, and then your plan says you can't move your stop for 30 minutes. And your plan also says you take 30% at 1R and the rest at 2R. That's your plan. Well, what if it goes all the way up to 5R? Doesn't matter. You get out at 2Rs. You get out at 2Rs. That's your plan, right? He's also a scalper, which means he's in and out really quick. I would say that's not the best beginner strategy. That's what every beginner wants to do. Every beginner loves the idea of scalping because they're too scared to hold the trade for longer than 10 seconds. So like, sweet, if I just got in here with my stop here, I could make 2Rs in here in 3 seconds and I'd be rich. The problem is you don't have enough experience to know what a good entry is. And so you just constantly get wicked out for a 1R loss for it to go to target. And then it comes down and 1R loss and goes to target. And you just get bled to death by 1R losses. Right. So that's the issue with scalping is it's too tight. You need to have a specific plan. And most of the time that plan requires you to have good entries. You need to know you need to be scalping at the right moments. And scalping usually requires yourself to jump ahead of a trade. If you're waiting for confirmation to scalp, it gets a little bit tougher because the markets know that and they love to just, if you have a nice tight consolidation and you wait for an entry there and a stop here on something really tight, it knows it's going to do that, stop you out, and then go. So the markets love to do. Right? So scalping is really appealing because it's quick money. Again, the mindset of quick. I'm going to make $1 million tomorrow. Quick. Don't want to wait. And that's what's going to crush you. You've got to be able to be in control of your emotions, be okay losing money, and say, you know what? How about I do my entry here and my stop here? And yes, that means my target's all the way up here instead of my target being right here. But that's okay, because I can control my emotions and I'm not risking the house on this trade. If you were risking $5 on this trade, would you really care? So if your stop was here and if you came down and hit your stop and you lost $5, would you really care? Right? Probably not. So would you be really quick to move your stop up? Would you be really would you even be interested in I don't even care if this thing wins or not, it's $5. That's the mentality that you need to trade with. Right? So having that mindset, having a plan in, and then just following it. Not caring. If you care, you need to lower your R. You're trading with too much money. And that's the biggest mistake most new traders make. They go ahead and put a $200 or $300 or $500 R out there. And then you can't handle that. You're too stressed. You take profits too quick. You don't follow your plan. Your emotions take over. Whereas if it was $5, you'd be like, man, I don't give a crap. If you were up $1, would you be like, oh, let's take it? I'm up $1. No, you wouldn't care. But you do that when a $500 R is there and you're up $100. You're like, I'm up $100, just take it. Right? It's all about controlling your emotions, following your plan, and playing the game. After a while of doing that, your brain will finally be convinced that it doesn't matter how much money you put on it, as long as I just follow my plan. You could have a $100,000 R or a $5 R. It's still the same thing. Nothing changes. Once you get that past your brain, now you're crushing life. Now you're not getting emotional because it's like, I know that I'll be profitable in the end. So Back trading is, let me go back through this. Look at the history of where you would have done a trade. So back trading is you have a strategy, right? Again, like this double bottom, and you go back. And what I recommend doing is not using, it depends. You can use trading view. They only give you a couple months back on like a 5-minute chart. I would go to like tradingsim.com. It's like $70 a month. Whatever you, there's other software out there. Thinkorswim, I think, allows you to go back pretty far. You go back, and before you know what happens on the day, so let's just, here, we'll go to a daily chart. We'll go back to this day right here. We have no idea what's going to happen. Go to a 5-minute, and you fast forward it, and we're waiting for a double bottom. Okay, here's a potential double bottom that's forming. We'll see if it bounces. Holy snapdragons, perfect timing. I did not plan that. So now our entry goes here, our stop goes here per our plan, right? Our plan is to play the retest of it. Pull down, come on, retest. Retest. We just got missed on this trade. Okay, so we go find the next one. And then if you got filled, you need to write down the actual outcome, right, of your R's. Not how much money you made, what your R's are. How do you know what your R is? Your R is a risk unit. So you can use this little tool. Risk reward ratio 1, that is 1R. You are risking the same amount that you have down here, right? Your entry there, stop here. That's your 1R, that's your 2R. And then your plan needs to tell you exactly what to do before you back trade. You're not making your plan as you back trade. You have your plan and you back trade that plan. Don't change that plan. Don't change it. So if you do that plan and you lose 20 times in a row, you go, oh, this plan sucks. No, you don't stop. You keep going for hundreds and hundreds of times. And after 300 trades, after going back a year long of back trading, you're going to look at it and go, am I profitable? Yes or no? How many R's am I up? How many R's am I down? What's my win rate? What's my max drawdown? You get all this information from back trading. And then you can go ahead and say, okay, well, what if I implemented taking only 10% at 1R instead of 30%? And guess what you get to do? You get to go back with that new rule and back trade 100 times again and see if that new rule has helped you become more or less profitable. You know why most people don't back trade is because it takes so much time and people want the easy, quick, I'm just going to follow what this guy says on YouTube. Well, what you don't realize is that person on YouTube has got a $5 million account. You've got a $6,000 account. That person on YouTube doesn't care if he loses $100,000. Whereas for you, you're blowing up your account before you have a chance to even make money, right? So you need to make sure you're on the right mindset, right trading plan, and I actually ask that person, what's your max drawdown per year? What's your win rate? Before you just start blindly following that guy's trade, right? Do the same thing with real life trading. You can go back. The cool thing is that you can figure that out. You can go to real life trading and you can look up all of our trading. Go to real life trading, click on this. I'm trying to see here where it's at. I think it's all the way at the bottom. So if you go to, it should be, Falcon, if you can help me out with that, but we should have our trading. Am I missing it? Where is it at? Should have our trade journal on here somewhere. It might be just under a different thing. Let's just go into my account. Oh, okay. Go into your account and then trade journals right there. Right there. Official trade journal right there. So once you have an account, go to trade journal, click on it, and it'll show you all of our trades as far back as you want to see. Oh, you're good. No worries, man. We found it. So now you can look and see what that strategies have done, what our wins have been. You can go in my credit spreads and look at that stuff. And you'll see that we have a lot of losses, but we're profitable at the end, right? Let's see here. Ivan, man, thanks for hanging out. PC says, I make it seem so simple. Trading can be as hard or as simple as you want to make it, man. It doesn't have to be complicated. My trading strategies are extremely simple. Really simple. Jeff Hall says, how do you divide up your resources? You trade day, how much of your portfolio, credit spreads, how much of your portfolio, what else? Oh, cool. Good question. So for me, the majority of my portfolio is in credit spreads and longer term plays, naked puts. So option selling, I guess is the easy way to say it. I don't have any trade be more than 3% of my total account. And then day trading, I have day trading margin that I trade with. So that's a little bit different. Oh yeah, Falco, you just wrote on that. All day trading margins, you get 4 to 1. Yeah, I day trade off of margin, so it doesn't really tie up my account that much. Portions of it, right? It's still 4 to 1, so it's still tying up some, but not a lot. And yeah, so I have different strategies that I do, and we're all different, right? But it's mainly about, for you starting out, you want to find something that you're really good at that meets your life and what you're good at, right? That might be day trading, that might be swing trading, that might be options, that whatever the case might be that fits your personality. Get really, really good at one thing that brings in consistent money, as consistent as the market can be, right? Once you have that bringing in money, then invest your time and money into learning other strategies and grow from there. Don't try to be, I want to learn naked puts, day trading, swing trading, long-term investing, scalping. I want to be good at everything. You're probably going to suck at all of it. So get really good at one thing, usually is a good way to go. That's how I was. I sucked at a lot of things until I just did credit spreads. And I found credit spreads that worked for me. I didn't day trade. I didn't swing trade. I didn't do anything. I just traded credit spreads and credit spreads only. My plan, not randomly doing stuff, but following simply my plan. I did that for a year and a half. After a year and a half, then I started to dive back into day trading, back into swing trading. And all of a sudden I was profitable now because that pressure of having to make money on it was gone. And I could actually get my emotions out of the trades and start becoming better. So that's how I did it. Again, everyone's different. So it's up to you to figure out a little bit of what you want. Do you work a full-time job? Can you even day trade? You might want to think about swing trading. You might want to think about longer term stuff and learning how to sell calls against it. You guys, I bring in like on average $10,000 to $20,000 a month just by selling calls against my longer term positions. That's all I have to do. I sell calls against longer term positions and make $10,000 a month, 20,000, somewhere in there. Depends on the month. Depends on my setups. Right? And that's just one of my strategies. So you don't have to day trade to get rich. Can you? Yeah. There's people out there that make a lot of money day trading. But you figure out what works for you. And those covered calls take up like 4 hours a month of my time. There's a lot of things out there. There's a million ways to make money in the market. Just figure out what works for you. So is your trading strategy double bottoms and double tops, or what other patterns do you use? Ronnie, I actually have a ton of trading strategies. Depends on the time of day. I have a lot. So if you pull up, I have trading strategies for reversals. I have trading strategies for double bottoms. I have trading strategies for traps. I have trading strategies for gap and goes, for retest gaps. I have a handful of day trading strategies that I use. I've back traded all of them and know what they do, what the expectations they have, and if they work or not. For sure. All right, guys, my time is pretty much up. Falco's jumping on right now. He's here right now. Falco, you can probably start your recording once I get off, because once I bounce out, it's going to stop it. But
yeah, all good.
Cool.
Did you trade anything this morning?
No, we had a chance. We got missed on quite a bit of things. We were waiting on Peloton, of course, and that just never pulled back. That was the only official trade I actually put on. But Chewy was another 2R1 that we were looking at doing a breakout on, and we didn't do that because it was an inside candle. I didn't want to trade an inside candle in the beginner's room right now. So that one would have worked. Did not pull the trigger on that one. And then we were looking at Tesla for reversal, and I just missed it. So those are pretty much all we had on our list. The rest of the time, we were just answering questions and having fun.
Yeah.
Are there trading strategies you use on the website somewhere? That's a good question. Falco, do we have our recipe book somewhere?
Yeah, they're in the dashboard. I'm not sure if they're available on the free week or not, but I know for sure if you join, then there are the it's like in a cookbook form. Is it on your dashboard, or you want me to? I can show.
I think, let me check this
Scroll
out.
down and you should.
So
Yeah, there you go.
we have, is it under here?
Yep.
Yep. So you can click add, and then day trading, swing trading, and then all of the moderators, Jeremy, Matt, Falco, me, Dan, all of us, we all donated a couple of our favorite strategies and put it in this cookbook for swing trades, for day trades. It's pretty cool. So there it is. That's I'm pretty sure that's free to everyone that's a member, right? Free. What a value, man. Everywhere.
Right? Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Y'all, I love you. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be back same place, same time tomorrow. Have fun with Falco. I'm gonna jump into that other room, man. So it's been a good group. Had some good questions. So have fun with it.
Awesome. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
All right, let me get my screen share going. Let me re-pull up the chat pane. That participant.